Hello, today we'll take a quick look at Proverbs 23. When you sit down to dine with the ruler, consider carefully what is before you, and put a knife to your throat if you are a man of great appetite. Do not desire his delicacies, for it is deceptive food. Do not weary yourself to gain wealth. Cease from your consideration of it. When you set your eyes on it, it is gone. For wealth certainly makes itself wings, like an eagle that flies toward the heavens. Do not eat the bread of a selfish man, or desire his delicacies. For as he thinks within himself, so he is. He says to you, eat and drink, but his heart is not with you. You will vomit up the morsel you have eaten and waste your compliments. So here, just in the first 8 verses, we have a common theme that's brought out here, I think is sort of centralized around verse 4. Do not weary yourself to gain wealth. Cease from your consideration of it. It's surrounded by these two accounts of sitting down to eat with someone and the idea of consumption, and really overconsumption, or another way of looking at this is greed. That greed essentially equates to idolatry, of putting forth our energy to gain something more than we're seeking God in the end. And so that's what verse 4 again alludes to, this idea of becoming weary in terms of gaining wealth, or even to gain or satisfy our appetite, our fleshly appetite or desires. And then a little bit later on in verse 17, it says, do not let your heart envy sinners, but live in the fear of the Lord always. Surely there is a future, and your hope will not be cut off. Listen, my son, and be wise, and direct your heart in the way. Do not be with heavy drinkers of wine, or with gluttonous eaters of meat, for the heavy drinker and the glutton will come to poverty, and drowsiness will clothe one with rags. So again, here is pointed out the fact that if I am consumed with this idea of gluttony, with gain of material things of this world, ultimately there's no hope, no future in that. As it says in verse 18, surely there is a future for those who fear the Lord rather than envy others who might have something. And towards the end of the proverb, it says, listen to your father who begot you, and do not despise your mother when she is old. Buy truth and do not sell it. Get wisdom, instruction, and understanding. So here again is that contrast between seeking something in this world in terms of the material or the experience or the pleasure, versus that which is lasting, wisdom, instruction, fear of the Lord. The father of the righteous will greatly rejoice, and he who sires a wise son will be glad in him. Let your father and your mother be glad, and let her rejoice who gave birth to you. Give me your heart, my son, and let your eyes delight in my ways. And here it's as though the Lord himself were asking us for his heart. And lastly, I'll finish by reading 1 Corinthians 10:31 that says, whether then you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. This something simple, but yet transformative for us to live by as we have the temptation to seek in this world pleasure and gain. Take care.